Round one.
Welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. My name is Steve Johnson, the co-host Aurelio Martinez. We're just back from vacation where we took a little bit of time off with the families to enjoy some of life. This past weekend we had some great fights, Friday and Saturday night, and we're going to move right to Saturday night, a highly anticipated fight between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Andre Berto, where Floyd was going to look for his 49th consecutive win with no losses, and Andre Berto was allegedly going to put up some type of a fight on that. I'm going to let you start, Aurelio, first with your opinion of the fight.
Well, okay, first we want to let people know that we did take our vacation, our time with the families. You were in Ensenada, right?
Yes.
So I was in Puerto Rico and had a good time. Boy, I tell you, I love the island. It's beautiful.
We should do next time. You should go to Ensenada and we should go to San Juan.
Well, that's up to the wives. We don't have any say on
That's
where we
very
go,
true. You guys know that.
Did that.
Okay.
But anyway, we enjoyed ourselves. And now we did see the fights. This weekend was action-packed. It was just great. Steve, the Floyd Mayweather fight, I was happy to see the fight was more competitive than I anticipated. I didn't really anticipate a good fight at all. I mean, you have Floyd Mayweather, the champion, the best out there in boxing, and has been for, a decade or so. And then you have Berto, who at one time was a contender, had some good fights, and but now he's in my book, he wasn't even a contender status anymore, and he just happened to get this shot. And we talked about it before. I saw it more of a favor by Floyd, giving his buddy a favor and giving him a payday or whatever the case. But I didn't expect a competitive fight. I expected Floyd to dictate all the terms of the fight. I expected him to decide when he was going to end the fight and how long he was going to let it last. I just expected him to have full control of this fight. And it wasn't so. I think Andre Berto came in, and Andre Berto, he actually, he gave it his all. And it was just, he made it a fight. He made it a fight, and I'm going to tell you what, I think what happened there is that as we got closer to the fight, Berto started to get irritated with Floyd and Floyd's entourage and that whole style of training and the words and all that good stuff. I mean, obviously, Berto was hearing things like, Floyd really wants to beat you up for his last fight. He really wants to put a whipping on you, and it didn't sit right with Berto. And what happened was, it brought that out in Berto, saying, man, this guy's not just going to kick my ass. Okay, it's not going to happen. So he went out there and he fought, and it turns out that it was a very entertaining contest.
Okay. I'm glad that you went first, because I'm going to dispute what you said 100%. I don't think the fight was entertaining at all, especially, and maybe it's because I'm older, but $74.95 was what this fight. If you purchased this fight on pay-per-view, it cost you $74.95. I actually went over and watched it at Hooters for $10,
Yep.
which was great. Okay, it was worth every bit of $10.
Yep.
And the undercard is what made made $9 of it. Okay.
Yep.
So the fight with Berto, like you said, there were some things that really brought it out of Berto to give his all, but his all was comparable to me fighting Klitschko. If you want to make that entertaining because I give it my all, you can have that. And then you complicate the whole things with Berto after the fight, saying all Floyd did was ran, he doesn't fight, he runs. Give me a fucking break, dude. This is what he knows, what he knew what he's up against. And then to say that, but just talking about the fight itself, you have to be specific with me as where it was entertaining. There was nothing entertaining about it at all. Berto came out in the first round, falling right into Floyd's, what Floyd wanted to do, doing nothing, basically. So I think most fans will agree, too, by the sixth round, we all knew this was going to do the distance, going to go the distance. So
And it shouldn't have, but it shouldn't have.
Well, you put it on Floyd.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you put it on Floyd, but you also put it on Berto, because Berto could easily, because this is what I felt. I felt he was coming in for the payday. Okay, and then when you come in for a payday, you're not going to you're not going to let yourself get hurt. You're not going to let yourself get beat up. You're going to go in there and go through the motions. You're going to fight, and whenever Floyd turns it on, it's going to be over. Okay, but that wasn't the case. Berto actually fought every round to the best of his abilities. And then he also mentioned on the post fight when they talked to him, you mentioned about Floyd ran and stuff, and they asked him point blank. They asked him if Floyd was the toughest fighter or the best fighter that he's known, and he said no. And I think he was being honest. People were getting upset, but he was being honest, and I don't have any problem with that. I think Berto's been in there competitive with his level of fighting at the time when he fought Ortiz and them. I mean, them I think were tougher fights for him because they just were. In this fight, I don't think it was what he expected.
Aurelio, it's the same thing with Robert the Ghost Guerrero. The same thing with Berto. Everybody that fights Floyd, they say the same thing. He's not fighting. He won't fight.
And he's not going to fight. Well, so you're right. I see your point.
Yeah, so
I see your point. Why would they expect anything
That's
different?
right. He's not going to fight you, okay? He's going to frustrate you.
Here again, there's only a handful of trainers out there that really know how to make a fight competitive and stuff like that. But because Berto went in and fought Berto. He didn't do anything to change.
Exactly right.
He didn't do anything different to try to change or take away Floyd Mayweather's comfort game. As you know, in boxing, the key is to take your opponent out of his comfort. Zone. Okay,
yes.
if you're fighting a Mexican fighter, the traditional Mexican fighter, and he's coming in straightforward, he's going to take a hit to give you a hit in the body. Well, you got to take him out of that comfort zone. Once you got that Mexican fighter going back or on his heels, you got it. It's done. You took him out of his comfort zone. Same thing with when you go in there and you box like a Sugar Ray Leonard or a Terry Norris or some of these movers that box and move. Well, you got to take them out of that comfort zone. You got to get them pinned against the corner of the ropes, and you got to take them out of that comfort zone so that the whole demeanor of the boxing game and the contest changes. Mm-hmm. And no one's been able to do that to Floyd. And honestly, it's almost like no one's even tried because their money, they get the money signs in their eyes, so it's like, okay, I'm getting paid, and that's priority now. So what can you say? Do you blame him or not?
Well, I like I said, for Berto to come in and be Berto, okay, I knew he had no chance. I knew he had a chance, and this goes back to like I told you before.
Well, everyone did. The odds tell you that.
Do you remember? But my favorite comparison was, remember when I told you we were getting ready for the fight with Austin Trout, and he was fighting who was
Canelo?
No. When Austin Trout was fighting somebody, I can't remember who it was, but when they stood together and you saw the size difference. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
And I told you. Remember, we were talking on the phone.
Yeah, we were talking.
I said, Trout's gonna win this. There's, and when you look at, I told you guys in the last episode we had, where we talked about the size difference with Floyd 2 inches in height, but more important, the 4 inches in reach. I said Berto's not going to be able to get inside and dictate anything, and that was exactly it. Yeah. There was none of that. So for Floyd, it was a sparring match. It was a sparring match against a guy who wants to get in there and bang with him, and Floyd's not going to let you get in there and bang, or he's not going to bang with you. So it was an easy fight for Floyd, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, it was an easy fight. The only thing I saw in Floyd is his age. At 38 years old,
his age is definitely showing a radio.
It comes to light where he's not the young Floyd anymore. Okay, because honestly, he's getting hit more than he's ever gotten hit, and even though he's not getting hit the way because of his defensive skills, his age is not allowing him to be as elusive as he was when he was a young guy. So,
and I think you guys saw that it was about the 8th or 9th round where Floyd really decided he was going to exchange with Berto for a second. Yeah. And they exchanged, and you saw it was like the exchange lasted about maybe 10, 12 seconds, and Floyd backed out of it, and I could see right then that Floyd's legs were about gone. He has no legs to keep him. His defensive abilities now are from the waist up, and that's all he needed to keep Berto off of him because Berto's so much smaller than him. I'm reluctant to say this, but the Keith Thurmans, the young kids that are there waiting to come up for him, that's too much for Floyd. He can't deal with that now.
Well, we're gonna see some more competitive fights with Thurman and all these other
young boys.
With Floyd out of the picture, supposedly, they're gonna stop being able to chase this treasure chest at the end of the rainbow because it's not there anymore. So now they're going to have to make the money fights. Okay, so now it's not going to be, okay, well, if he wants me to fight this guy, he's got to give me $10 million. Or if that guy wants to fight me, he's going to have to give me $10 million. Or like Sugar saying, well, I'll give this guy $10 million if you want. See, them things are not going to happen anymore. Then it's going to have to start over again. But anyhow, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Floyd and his supposedly retirement for boxing. Okay,
and we'll also talk about in our second episode. We'll talk about the undercard of that Mayweather and Berto fight, which by the way was excellent. So
and it was an excellent fight. So we're going to come back. We don't want to string this out too long, so we're going to come back. We're going to come back and talk about Floyd retiring from boxing. Okay, so come back, watch the next episode, and until then, Steve.
Hey, keep them hands up.
Keep them hands up.